You have $400 in your checking account and 3 days until payday. So you swipe the card for groceries. Just this once. You tell yourself you'll pay it off next month. You mean it too. There's a version of you who lives 1 month ahead, and he always has the money. He's calm, he's caught up. You've never actually met him, but every time the account runs thin, you hand him the bill, and for a while somehow he covers it. Now jump ahead about 11 years. That same card, or the one that replaced it, or the 4 that came after those, has quietly turned into something else. A case number, a file with your name at the top, sitting in a drawer in an office you will never walk into, opened and closed by a stranger who has never met you and never will. Between those two moments is every level of this, and you crossed most of them without noticing you were moving at all. According to Bankrate's 2025 credit card survey, roughly half of American cardholders carry a balance from 1 month to the next. Not because they're reckless, not because they can't do math, because the next month, the one where everything finally gets paid, never quite arrives. It just keeps moving, staying exactly 1 step ahead of you, carrying everything you keep promising it. This is every level of debt, and what each one actually feels like from the inside. Stay to the end, because the level that traps the most people is not the one you think it is. Level 1, you owe nothing. This is where everyone starts, and it doesn't feel like a level at all. The balance is 0. The card in your wallet is just a convenience, a backup, a thing for emergencies you're sure you won't have. And the first time you carry a balance, it isn't a decision you sit down and make. It's a Tuesday. The fridge is empty, the check hasn't cleared, and $40 of groceries goes onto plastic instead of into your account. The little machine beeps. Green light. You feel the breath go out of you, soft, relieved. At 0, debt isn't a number yet. It's a promise you make to a person who doesn't exist. Level 2, $800. Now the balance has a shape. It shows up once a month on a statement, and at the very bottom of that statement is a small, friendly number. $25, the minimum. It looks like mercy, so you pay it, and you feel like the kind of person who handles things. And you never quite notice that almost none of that $25 touched what you actually owe. You're at the register buying something you don't need, and the first card gets waved off, so you slide the second one across. Quiet, casual, like it's nothing at all. The receipt curls out of the machine still warm, and you fold it into your pocket without looking at the number. The person behind the counter doesn't blink. That's the part you'll remember later, how completely normal it looked. Level 3, $3,000. Something shifts here, and it's quiet, and it's bad. The balance stops moving. You pay every single month, on time, and the number at the top of the statement just sits there, breathing, unchanged. So you set the payment to automatic, so you don't have to look at it, and you stop opening the envelopes, and they start to collect in a drawer with their corners still sealed. Somewhere a credit score you never look at is quietly going down, and you don't look at that either. Your phone buzzes against the table, face down, an unknown number, and you let it ring all the way out. Your roommate leans in and asks if you want to split a delivery, and you say you already ate, and you didn't. You've started running the arithmetic before you agree to anything. A coffee, a birthday gift, a drive that costs gas. Every small yes goes through a checkpoint first, and the checkpoint is always open, and it never lets much through. The minimum payment doesn't shrink the debt. It just rents you the right to keep it. Level 4, $9,000. There are 2 cards now, maybe 3. A balance transfer offer arrives in the mail with a big, bright 0 printed on it. 0% for a while, and you take it. And for one afternoon, it feels like a plan. It isn't a plan. It's a rotation. The same money moves from one card to another in a slow circle, and the thing at the center of that circle, the thing it's all quietly turning around, is you. The phone in your pocket feels heavier than a phone should feel. You're at dinner with friends, and one of them pays cash for the whole table. Easy, no math, no flinch. And you laugh at the joke and split the check in your head at the same time. You've gotten good at this. at being completely present at a table and quietly calculating underneath it in the same breath so nobody sees. That's a skill now. It cost you something to learn it, and you can never quite put down what it cost. And if this is where you are right now, sitting somewhere in the middle of all of this, I want you to hear one thing clearly. You are standing exactly where about half the country is standing with you. The Federal Reserve's 2025 report on household economics found that a large share of American adults couldn't cover a sudden $400 expense with cash on hand. This level is not the exception. For a lot of people, quietly, it's the whole map. Level 5, $22,000. This is the first level with a witness. For years, the debt was yours alone, a private weather system that only you lived inside. But now there's someone who shares an account, or a lease, or a last name, and the number can't stay folded in a drawer anymore. A red envelope comes, the kind stamped past due, and it's sitting on the counter when they walk in. You watch them pick it up. There's a pause. You have rehearsed this conversation 100 times in the shower, and not one of those versions comes out of your mouth now. The kitchen is very quiet. You can hear the refrigerator running. They set the envelope back down, and they ask you how long this has been going on. And the number you say out loud is smaller than the real one. Because even now, even standing right here, some old reflex reaches for the version that sounds survivable. You watch it land on them anyway. It was never a secret. It was just a thing you never found the right minute to say. Level 6, $80,000. The phone doesn't stop now. You know the ringtone before you even look at the screen. Different numbers, the same flat voice, the same script asking if you're the person named on the account. They call during dinner. They call on a Sunday afternoon. And the letters have changed their tone. Heavier paper now. A firm's name at the top. Words like final and referral and legal counsel. Someone in the next room hears the phone buzz and pretends they didn't. And so do you. You start letting it go to voicemail on principle. You start a folder in your inbox you never once open. The dread has a schedule now, and you learn that schedule the way you'd learn a bus route without ever sitting down and deciding to. Here's the part nobody warns you about. The calls don't actually want the money. They want you to pick up. They want the flinch. And that flinch, that jolt every time the phone lights up, is the most expensive thing you'll pay at this level. And none of it shows up on the statement. Around this point, it stops being personal at all. The New York Federal Reserve's 2025 household debt report put the country's total credit card balances well over $1 trillion. You are one line in a number that large. Level 7, $500,000. Almost no one gets here, and I need you to hold on to that because it matters. Most people never make it past level 4. But if you follow the road all the way down, past the cards and the medical bills, past the loan that was supposed to fix the other loans, this is where the stairs finally end, and something strange happens at the very bottom of them. The fear goes away. At $500,000, the debt stops being something you carry. It becomes a file, a case number in a spreadsheet on a screen you'll never see. A stranger manages it now, in an office with gray carpet and a coffee machine. And to that stranger, it isn't a life at all. It's a Tuesday. There is no drama in a number this large. Nobody raises their voice. It moves through systems. Somebody stamps it, somebody else files it, and every person who touches it goes home and forgets your name before dinner. You stop lying awake. You stop flinching at the phone, and that quiet, that flat and total calm, is the single most expensive thing the whole long descent ever sold you. Because at $500,000, the debt stops being something you owe. It becomes something you are. Printed on a form, filed in a drawer, in a room you will never see. There is another version of the story. One where the number climbs back down instead of up. Where you claw it back, one flat, boring payment at a time, for years. And then one completely ordinary morning, the statement finally reads nothing at all. And nobody warns you about that morning. You'll feel the phone buzz against the table, face down, and your whole body will brace for it. out of pure habit, the exact way it braced every day for a decade. That next month version of you, the calm one who always had the money, the one you kept handing the bill to. In the end, he paid off every last promise you made in his name. The strange part is that the relief you waited all those years for never actually arrives. It was already gone, spent in advance, 1 month at a time, by the calm man who was always going to be fine. You just don't recognize the person who paid for them. So, which level are you standing on right now?